Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be talking about today's topic. So we are talking about a topic that I really love, which is self-care, especially self-care during pregnancy. First things first, let's get formalities out of the way. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Elizabeth. I'm an actress and a content creator, and I'm really happy to have you here. It's a small gesture that goes a long way. And subscribe. I make new videos every Tuesdays, and sometimes I do surprise drops on Fridays. Cool, now that we got that out of the way, let's jump right in. So self-care, that is something that I've kind of discovered that's really important to me throughout my life. Being a really, type A, go-getter, let's go type personality and person, I learned kind of really early on that if I don't take care of myself, first of all, no one else will. And obviously being an adult and, not being with my parents and such. And second, that if I don't take care of myself, I will burn out. Especially when today's really busy world, there's so many things that I want to get done, so many projects I want to tackle. I feel like most of us, we want to achieve things, we want to do things, and to me, especially after this whole year of just mostly, resting and not doing a lot, and kind of going back to your roots, going back to that place of taking care of yourself. And I always feel that I'm a huge believer in mind and body. And I always feel that when I take care of my mind and my body, I can put my best foot forward in the morning to conquer anything that kind of jumps at me throughout the day. So after feeling much better during the pregnancy, the first thing that I kind of really wanted to go back to is my skincare routine and my body routine. And those are two things that I've kind of really neglected during the pregnancy and the previous months before, because life was hectic, we were moving, and everything was just super crazy. I have a few products right over here that I really want to recommend. Let's start with body. So this is an oil that I use after every shower, and I'm gonna link it. I don't know if this is gonna focus. No, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna link it down below for sure. I'm gonna link everything down below. Don't you guys worry. This is a bio oil skincare oil. So basically, when I found out I was pregnant, I literally after I was feeling a little better, I literally Googled creams and oils to prevent stretch marks. Now, obviously, disclaimer, nothing can really promise me to prevent stretch marks, but I'm a really big believer in prevention. So I believe that if I do whatever I can to help the situation, that it's gonna be paid off in the future. So this bio oil has been super recommended. I think it's 4.5 on Amazon. It's really inexpensive. Like I said, I will link it down below. And obviously stretch marks is a very genetic thing. If you're prone to stretch marks, you are gonna get stretch marks. And if you're not, you're not. But I figured I will do whatever I can to try to prevent it. And I read in multiple places that hydrated skin has less tendency to develop stretch marks. So that's one thing. The other thing that I'm using are mostly things for my face. I've discovered that doing my skincare routine in the morning makes me so happy. It makes me feel so good, again, after not doing it for a few months. So there's a few products that I use. One of them, which I'm almost finished, but you can't really see, this is the Murad multivitamin fusion oil. I love Murad. I love their products. I love the company. I love the ingredients that they use. I'm not a big expert on ingredients, but I do try to read them and kind of Google things I don't understand, trying to make sure that there's good ingredients in whatever I buy for my face and my body. And Murad is really great. This oil it kind of replaces a serum, a morning serum. I just put a tiny little drop. It goes a little with this, goes a really long way, since obviously it's an oil, so it's much more concentrated. And yeah, I've been loving this lately. Another product that I've been really loving as part of my morning self-care routine, I might actually do a video on that. We'll stay tuned to that, show you how I get up in the morning and what I do. This is a Revolution Vitamin C eye cream. So I ran out of eye cream a couple of weeks back, and I purchased this little guy, and I really like it. It's a really lightweight cream. It's really nice. It blends out real easy, and I like it. It looks great. It does the job. That's what I meant. It's not supposed to look anything. It's supposed to be transparent. Yeah, and I've been really liking this thing so far. So stay tuned. I hope I'm not gonna change my review on this one. This is another one that I've been really loving. I feel that the minute that I've kind of like been able to go back to my regular self, I love scrubs. Like, I love scrubs. I haven't been doing too much of those, but I did finish a face scrub, and I just purchased this new one. This is a Vitamin C Beauty. I didn't know this company, so this is a new company I'm exploring. Exfoliating face scrub. Let me tell you, I really like this thing. Like, again, I hope it's gonna focus. No, I'm not really sure it's gonna focus, but like I said, I'll link everything down below, you guys. This is really good. This is awesome scrub. I really like it. It's gentle, but it is a little, like, it's rough enough to do the scrub, but it's not like too rough on your skin, and it's not a salt scrub that would be like too rough on your skin, on your face. So yeah, I really like this. It's awesome. I like using it like once or twice a week. It kind of refreshes me, makes me feel really good. Definitely a go for me. And last but not least, I don't know why, I have been loving face mists. I don't know what it is, but just that feeling of freshness, just like, I live for it. So this is another company that I actually didn't know, and I'm trying it out. So this is Tula Skincare. I believe they're a newer company, and this is their Signature Glow, English please, Signature Glow Refreshing Brightening Face Mist. So again, I don't think my camera is not, this is not working. We are gonna link this thing, you know the drill. Anyway, I love this thing. This is like a really big bottle. This is a little bit on the pricier side. I think it's like $30 something, but this is really good. And what I like about it, can you hear that? There's a little ball inside, and when I kind of do this, it kind of like mixes everything together. Actually, I'm gonna use it right now. Oh, and very important for preggo women's. Did I just coin that? Preggo women's? Very important for pregnant women, or at least it was for me, and I'm sure it would be for some of you. The smell is very delicate. It's very light, very delicate, not overbearing at all, which to me, again, it's really important because, like I mentioned before, I am a little bit more sensitive with smells right now. So that's just the thing that we need to deal with. Anyway, moving on to number 2. So this one is a trivial one, but again, like in the beginning of the pregnancy, it was really hard for me to do. The sun just came out. I am loving this because it was in like when I started shooting this video, and now it's out. I love it. So like I said, this is a trivial one. So drinking enough water. Again, a real trivial one. By the way, a little anecdote. I once read an article, this was like years and years ago. I once read an article about this woman like in her 30s that was feeling really bad. She had a lot of like health problems and stuff like that. And when she went to the doctor, he's like, so literally the first thing he asked her, he was like, how many cups of water do you drink a day? And she's like, well, I'll drink 1 or maybe 2. And he's like, you know what? Let's do an experiment. Before we start doing any blood work, any like checking you out, can you for 1 month drink 8 cups of water a day and then come back to me if you're still having the same problems? Like, she had digestive problems, her hair was falling out, her teeth, her fingernails were brittle, her skin looked dull, she had digestive problems, like the works. She was tired all the time. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. And it was hard in the beginning, but she definitely did it. And within a month, it was like magic. All of her problems disappeared. And she was like completely shook, but she's like, you know, no one ever taught me how important it is to just drink enough water. So basically, I was really good with my water intake before I was pregnant. And then when, in the beginning of the pregnancy, I just couldn't hold anything in, and it was hard for me to even drink water, so I just couldn't do it. And now I'm really trying to hydrate myself as much as I can. pregnant women, FYI, need 3 liters of water a day. So usually like people who are not pregnant would consume like basically 2.5. Women that are pregnant, since our blood volume, and don't get me on this if I'm butchering this, but from what I've gathered, since our blood volume is much bigger, since it's creating much more blood, there's much more flow in the system to help the baby and to grow the baby and to give the baby all of the minerals and vitamins it needs. Pregnant women need much more water. So definitely working on those 3 liters a day, making sure I drink enough water during the day has got me feeling so much better than I've already been feeling. So that's a really important one. So the third thing that I do is kind of like my pregnancy self-care is getting enough rest. And this is one that I was really underestimating when I first became pregnant, because I am not a nap person. I hate napping during the day. Yes, I said it. I hate napping during the day. I'm a very much like go, go, go. Like I hate stopping my day. I'm like, it always feels to me, and yes, you can come at me in the comments, it feels to me so weird to just stop your day in the middle, just go get a nap. I just like keep on going and pushing it through. But during this pregnancy, I can't. And Adam is actually the one who's been so supportive and so instrumental in this. He's like, go and take a nap. You need a nap. You need to rest. And he's been so amazing about that I've kind of like really gotten in the habit of taking naps and just resting whenever I need to rest, because it took me a hot minute to understand that my body is not only mine at the moment, and that I need to take care of myself, not because I need to, but just because there is a human growing inside of me. And if I'm feeling good, nourished, and hydrated, she will also be feeling good, nourished, and hydrated. So definitely taking enough rest. These days, I'm in bed by like 9:30, 10. I usually read or I'm on my phone, but I definitely go to bed quite early, and like by 11, or even sometimes even earlier, I'm just like dropping off. I'm like, hello, goodbye. I did have a few instances the last like month or two that like Adam caught me, I dozed off with like literally holding my phone. So yeah, that's a big one. Taking enough rest when I need it. The fourth thing that I do in terms of self-care during this pregnancy is actually reading books. So, when we do something for the first time, there's going to be so many opinions and articles and things and people telling you different opinions, and sometimes they're going to be, contradicting one another, and there's just so much information. And I'm a person who loves to get myself, I love reading, I love researching, I love understanding the topic that I'm into right now. And I found out that I really love reading books about pregnancy. I'm gonna stop here for a minute. Not that I just found out I love reading books. I always knew I love reading books, but what I mean is that I found out that I love reading books about pregnancy, because I feel that those that kind of source is a non-judgmental, you have to do this, you have to do that. When it comes to kids, I feel what I've discovered the past few months is that everyone is gonna have an opinion, literally everyone. And the only ones who are not gonna have opinion are people with no kids, which I personally do not have a lot of those in my life. I don't know if you guys do, but I don't. So everyone's gonna have an opinion about anything you say, anything you do. So you just better live your life, right? So yeah, reading books. I'm going to link down below the 2 books that I'm reading right now. I have this tendency of reading two books at once. I'm gonna maybe put pictures on top here. And I've been reading pregnancy books, and I have been reading self-care and kind of inspirational books. I've been really craving that type of content. And that's something that I really feel helped me kind of focus myself and focus like I, as a person who's on camera, as an actress, I definitely had some anxiety during this pregnancy in terms of like, oh my God, am I not going to be able to shoot projects? When am I going to be able to go back to work? How am I going to feel? How am I going to, I live in Texas as most things that I shoot are in LA. And how am I going to leave my, newborn and all those kind of things that got me really stressed and really worried. And I found out that just reading information and learning and trying to see what will work for me and what will not is something that's been really, really helping me. And I just really like doing. So yeah. Number 5, and the last thing I do is to kind of help myself into a self-care routine, is getting organized. Like I've mentioned, we had a horrible snowstorm that hit. We weren't home for almost about a month. We went into a hotel, then we left the hotel, then we went back into a hotel. It's a whole saga. There's video on my channel. I'm gonna link it up here. It's called Storytime. Why am I MIA? It was crazy. And I found out that keeping myself organized really helps me feel better and more secure and knowing kind of what are my next steps. Because, probably like, being pregnant and having a baby is probably gonna be one of the biggest, most most committed things I will ever do in my life. And feeling unprepared for that just kind of like really sucks basically, and kind of like elevates your anxiety levels and just makes you feel, like you're failing as a person, as a woman, as a human being. So definitely getting organized, which means making lists, which means asking questions. Like I said, there will be a lot of like do's and don'ts and a lot of like opinions, but try to listen first of all. Begin by listening and then try to sift what will work for you and what will not. So that's a big one for me. I come to conversations always with an open mind, unless it becomes like hostile or something. And then I try to figure out if it will work for me or not. And if the person is open to conversation, I will mention, hey, that's a great advice, but I'm not sure it's just gonna work for me. Or if they're not open to conversation at all and they're just like, this is the way it's supposed to be. And if you're not doing it like this, you're doing it wrong. And then I'll just won't say anything and be like, oh, okay, great. Well, thanks for sharing anyway, or just thanks for sharing, and just not say anything, but then decide, with me, with Adam, what will work for us, what will not work for us, what we want to do, and just kind of like making our own decisions, getting organized, which means asking questions, which means making a list. So I actually am very lucky. I have 2 friends who already had babies. I have more than 2, but those specific 2 created a list. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this list? I need it. So they created a list for newborns. Everything you need for your newborn. And I have nephews and I've been around babies. I know the basics. Obviously, I've never had a kid of my own, right? So I know, diapers, pacifiers, strollers, crib. That's basically it, But there's a lot of small things that I don't know, but that more mature and more experienced mothers do know that you can just, they're just life changers. And you're like, oh my God, how did I not know of this before? Really small things. So that's why I feel so lucky that I have 2 friends that actually compiled the list. And the good thing is I can compare between the 2 lists and realize what works for me, what doesn't, what I really need, and what I would prefer not getting after she's born or down the road. I don't have to get everything right at once. So yeah, those are the things that are kind of helping me to practice my self-care and kind of feeling more grounded, more connected. Because like I said in the beginning of the video, mind and body, I am a huge believer in it. And to me, the connection is it's so important. And like I said, when you take care of yourself and you can put your best foot forward, that's everything to me. So yeah, I hope these little tips and tricks help you guys. I will link all the products that I mentioned down below. And yeah, thanks for joining me for another video, and I'll see you next one. Bye guys.